Welcome back, sports fans. In the final segment, I will share my prediction for tomorrow's game. The Lions have a lot of injuries, and I think we know that. They've had that for a long time. Now they have a few more injuries that they didn't have before. They basically don't have any offensive line left. Their defense is totally decimated, and it wasn't that good to begin with. And now on top of it, you have Kirk Cousins wanting to play tomorrow, which I actually researched a little bit. And the only thing I could figure, aside from perhaps competitive spirit, is he's trying to have his fifth 4,000 yard season in the past 5 years, and actually his fifth in the last 6 years, I ought to say. To me, I'm shocked he's playing tomorrow. I didn't think he would play. I thought really the only regular starter who would play outside of Justin Jefferson, and I didn't think Adam Thielen was going to play, but I guess he's supposed to play too, was Dalvin Cook, because he's got a shot at the rushing title. However, Dalvin Cook, as I stated earlier, is not going to play tomorrow, which pretty much hands it over to Derrick Henry right now by default, as he tries to go for 2,000 yards tomorrow against the Texans. With that having been said, it would make it a lot easier for Matt Stafford not to play, obviously, if Kirk Cousins wasn't playing. However, I don't think Matt Stafford would have based his decision on Kirk Cousins. With that having been said, if Matt Stafford plays, and like I said, I really hope he doesn't, if the Lions can control the clock, since they have the running backs who are healthy, thankfully, though they have no offensive line, that's going to be the key, is can they control the clock? And Saints last week had 6 rushing touchdowns against the Vikings when they beat them, or actually I believe it was 7. Alvin Kamara had 6 of the 7, which tied the NFL record for rushing touchdowns in a game. That having been said, it gives the Lions an opening to control the clock by running the football, which would be good because it would take pressure off of Matt Stafford, as would play action passes, which obviously would be a lot more effective, as well as screen pass and the like, if the Lions are able to run the football. It also would help move the game along, which the Lions desperately need. With that having been said, without Dalvin Cook playing, I suspect the Vikings are going to go to more of an aerial attack, and that's what's going to do the Lions in. As I've stated, the Lions are already down there in pass defense, and they have a good shot at finishing last, not only in scoring defense, but passing defense and overall. With that having been said, without Dalvin Cook, it's not as likely that the Vikings are going to rush for as many yards tomorrow as they did the first game. Therefore, the Lions have a good shot at holding them. I would hope under 100 yards to be sure, but who knows? I think that would be a good number, though. They held the Buccaneers to 113 yards last week and played horribly, and at times seemed like they quit. With Darrell Bevell in there, they're not going to be as likely to quit, and if Matt Stafford plays, it will spark the team a bit. With that, all of that having been said, and with Dan Bailey injured, which would make a close game interesting, to say the least, given the fact that he has a back injury. Do I think the Lions are going to win tomorrow? No. I do think it'll be a closer game. First game was a 2-touchdown differential, and I see this as being more of the same. With Kirk Cousins and Matt Stafford in there, I see this as being more of a higher scoring game than a person who wrote for the Vikings who predicted the Vikings would win at 26-17. I think the Lions with Matt Stafford, even though the offensive line is the way that it is, the Lions will get more than 17 points. I also believe there's no reason why the Vikings won't go past 31, which is about what the Lions are giving up. I actually see them possibly getting it all the way to 40, which last year they did make it to with Kirk Cousins and the Lions having a little bit better defense than they currently have. And that's how I think it's going to go. No way do I think the Lions ought to win. It actually benefits them in the draft if they don't. I'm not rooting for them to lose, but I really don't think Matt Stafford ought to play. I also don't think DeAndre Swift should play that much either. Rest him, get him ready for next season, rest Matt Stafford. Hopefully he'll be back with the Lions, but why ensure that he's not going to be back by taking a chance that they don't need to by playing him. It just doesn't make any sense. And that will do it for the regular season finale of the Detroit Lions tomorrow. Before I wrap this up, I want to say thank you to the 2 new subscribers this week. And for the rest of you, including the 2, have a Happy New Year. If you're on the roads, drive safely. And don't forget, next week I will have the Detroit Lions tomorrow season finale where I go over all of the regular season stats for the Lions, and I talk about the key contributors throughout the season as well. And also, don't forget, on Tuesday is the Detroit Pistons tomorrow, which I will preview the next week's games, and I will talk about what's happened with the Pistons' last 3 games. 2021, I believe, is going to be a very interesting year. 2020 was certainly an interesting year in sports. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the Lions. If you're on the roads, drive safely. If you're watching sports, enjoy it. Have a good day, whatever you do. And I'll catch you next time. My name is Ed Moss. Goodbye for now. Take care.